Thank you. All those in
If the emergency requires an evacuation, safely exit through one of the two marked exits. In this meeting area, you can exit the building through either the Pearl Street main entrance or the Monroe Street exit to the left of the area. We will assemble in front of the Duval County Courthouse located on the northwest corner of Adams and Clay Street. If anyone needs medical assistance or help with safely evacuating, please notify a nearby JEA security officer. Always be cognizant about potential trip hazards. And lastly, please remember to silence your cell phone and laptops.
Great, thank you, Diane. And do we have any comments from the public? Okay, none heard. Okay, let me turn it over to back to Diane to talk about Managing Director, CEO terms of contract.
Good morning, everyone. I'll just introduce myself. Diane Moser, Chief Human Resources Officer. Now, the purpose of the Comp Committee is to assist the board in the review of any appointments or salary changes to the position of CEO. This committee will review Vicki Cavy's terms of contract, including salary. Guiding our discussion today, we'll review statistics and data from the APPA, which is American Public Power Association, LPPC, which is Large Public Power Council, Towers Watson, and Comp Data. Section 3.0.412 of the JEA Board Policy Manual states, all compensation terms shall be reasonable and customary and similar to other public utilities comparable to JEA when taking into account the size of the organization, employee workforce, and utility systems. As you know, JEA is uniquely structured in that we provide full cycle generation and distribution to over 500,000 customers, and that's in electric. We also provide treatment and delivery of water and wastewater services for over 400,000 customers, and we provide chilled water services to several large customers in the downtown area. This portfolio of services is not provided by any other LPPC member. This slide shows customers served. It shows the top 100 APPA members. The line of demarcation indicates LPPC members and is ranked by the number of customers served, electric revenues, and power generation. So again, it's only electric. Note that JEA's ranking is based solely on the electric, and so it does not include water, wastewater, or chilled water services. And JEA is ranked top 10 on each of these charts. Next chart is LPPC, Large Public Power Council, operational metrics. So this slide depicts the result of a survey, and 26 of 29 members responded to the survey. That's actually a really good amount. In the first section of the slide, you'll notice gray highlights in the customers column. This denotes LPPC members who are wholesale providers. They represent about 34% of the LPPC membership. Wholesalers provide generation and transmission services to smaller utilities. The second section of the slide reflects JEA rankings within the LPPC by 4 metrics. FTE, that would be your full-time employees, revenue, generation capacity, and customer count. The third section provides percentiles based on the above. JEA ranks in the 80th percentile within the LPPC operational metrics. Any questions thus far?
You differentiate these the wholesale providers. Can you just help me with that? What's the difference?
I'm just pointing out that about 34% of the respondents are wholesalers, and they're very different than what we do because they just provide generation. They're right, correct. Absolutely. Thank you.
And that's also why they have a low number of full-time employees too, because they don't,
They don't do the breadth of work that we do.
right, yeah, right.
It's very limited. What we do, it far exceeds.
Soup to nuts.
Soup to
Yeah.
nuts, absolutely. Okay. This slide shows LPPC executive salary survey data. So as mentioned, JEA ranks in the 80th percentile within the LPPC operational metrics. Highlighted in yellow are those within the 80th percentile and corresponding CEO base salary. So you'll see those numbers there, the base salary and then the total comp. Within the 2024 LPPC Executive Salary Survey, JEA's current CEO compensation is in the 40th percentile. This is market data. So we prepare this market data of the CEO salary, and we've been doing this practice since 2014. So the practice goes back a good 10 years. We utilize market data from Towers Watson, and we look at both general and energy industries. LPPC information is on the chart, as well as comp data. And we use the $1 to $3 billion revenue data cut. And this aligns with JEA's revenues, which are out $8 billion. The 50th percentile is used as it is commonly used in the industry. The 4 data points are averaged.
Don, excuse me, I'm not sure, what do you mean the 50th percentile is used common within the industry? What exactly does that mean?
When we determine compensation, it's a common practice to use data that's at the 50th percentile. So, right, we group, we look at a salary range, we group it in quartiles, and so, be in the middle of the range.
Obviously, so we're looking at, you're comparing to corporations that are 1 to 3 billion. There's nothing narrower or closer to 2 billion.
It's 1 to 3 billion, that's correct.
There's no bonus for the CEO, doesn't it? I thought the JEA had a bonus structure or an annual incentive plan for employees. Am I incorrect about that, or is that just not here because Vicki hasn't been here for a full cycle?
So our city charter now prohibits the CEO from receiving incentive or bonus payments like other LPPC CEOs.
But the employees JEA do receive an annual bonus.
The employees at JEA, their salaries are negotiated, and a performance increase is negotiated for our PEA employees. So and it's based on performance, and it's capped at a specific number.
I'm pretty sure that the previous CEO, his contract was, it was based, there was no bonus structure.
There wasn't.
Don, you were.
That's correct.
Yes.
I thought his first year Jay got a CEO got a bonus.
He got a raise, but not a bonus,
It wasn't,
if I remember correctly.
There was no bonus. I think it's merit increase, and it was equal to but no bonus.
So any other questions about this slide? These are really, really good discussion points.
So talk about there are these 4 different breakdowns here. What's the difference between the 4?
We look at the data from Towers Watson,
Right.
and you've got the general industry, and then the energy industry. And the numbers in red are what the 50th market is.
And then what are the other two boxes?
And the other two are from other survey data,
Okay.
LPPC and Comcast. And what we do is we take these four numbers and we average them to come up with the 50th percentile. And again, this is just that we've been doing since 2014. Okay, so staff is making a recommendation. The recommendation would be for a 3-year contract term with 2 mutually agreed 1-year terms. Base salary, New York, and the recommended base salary of 807,450. That's the 50th percentile. And of course, the final decision is up to you. A 3% general wage increase per year, which is very consistent with what we've done with other CEOs in the past. And then no change to current business or vehicle allowance. And front loading annual leave up to 120 hours. And just one other final note, section 4.0.73 of the JEA Board Policy Manual states that wages must meet the market, which is where the majority of companies in the geographic area reside. The 50th percentile pays competitively for behavior that meets expectations.
Okay, anything else, Nan?
That's all I.
Okay, good.
Mr. Chairman,
Please, yeah.
Diane, do you know what Jay would have made had he received the 3% increases?
It would have been 710,000
710.
If he was still here today, that would be his current salary.
if he was still here today. That's correct.
Okay,
And what
Just-
does she make now?
Vicky is at 560,000.
Okay, I know normally, and Regina helped me out. I know normally I can ask for motion, then we have discussion, and I know there's plenty of discussion. Is it okay to start the discussion first?
Here, you can't just start discussion because the motion is on the term of the contract, and the terms would include the compensation as well as the requested extension time, and the other compensation components of the package, such as the annual leave request. So it's all of the terms.
Okay, if it's okay with you all, and just discussion first on the length of the contract, the 3-year contract term. I did discuss that with Vicky in the 2-year, 1-year terms, and that's perfectly fine with her. I don't see any issues with it. Just any thoughts from you all on that aspect of it?
I'm a little confused. Is it 3 years, then 2 optional years, or is it?
Correct.
Okay, I
Correct.
just understand.
And so that first year would start on April 16th. But from original, right? Yeah, okay.
Unless you decide a different term, it can start effective, when you vote on it, when it goes to the full board, the board can establish the date. And what would happen is, we'll just amend the contract for the effective date for these terms to kick in.
Okay. So basically come 2028 would be our first look at renewing her for up to 2 more years.
I understand. That's why I was reading. I just want to make sure I was
Okay.
understanding it correct.
Any comments on that at all?
On the term, and heaven forbid we're in this scenario, but if we decided at any point in the years that we needed to go in a different direction, what would happen? What are the guardrails for the organization? And have to pay out contract? Is it?
You won't be obligated to, contract.
We don't.
At least the CEO serves pleasure.
It just sets a salary, but not a guarantee amount in the future.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, any other comments? Terms? Okay, then, we'll say base salary for last, on the annual leave up to 120 hours per year. Any issues with that one?
No, I don't have any out. What is, I mean, for a 30-some-odd year employee of the JEA, what would the accumulated, just due to our current?
I'm looking to see, if my expert in the room happens to know. We do have the number. Yeah, it's
It's a lot more than that, isn't it?
So if you, in your packet, there is a draft of what the changes to the contract would be. An employee, the request here is the accrual rate of 280 hours per year. So if you can break that down into these.
Like 280 or 120.
That's seven.
Yeah.
7 weeks.
Okay, but
What was the CEO at the perspective?
He would have much less
I understand.
tenure, so he would have fewer unless it was front loaded in his contract.
It was, and I believe it was the same as, well, my memory said that it was same as a 20-year employee at the JEA or something like that. He did have,
Negotiated.
it was part of the negotiation. I forget the number off the top of my head, but for some reason, 20-year employee is sticking in my brain.
This does seem slight for someone in the executive position. I wouldn't even see a vice president come in less than 4 to 5.
But I'm confused, Virginia.
So she's being asked, the proposal is to be credited with 120 hours. And then the annual accrual rate is 280 hours. So being credited with the 120 hours.
So it's not just limited to.
No, that's being asked to be credited with that amount in advance.
Which is equivalent to 3 weeks. Additional.
There's mine.
Yeah, no, I don't, it's something about the way
Kwanzaa,
we're
this is your
saying it.
world.
So I know, and this, but it's something about the way that
Yeah.
we're saying this. So are you saying that she already has 7 weeks in her bank?
I'm not
And
sure what she has in her bank, but right now she currently accrues time at 280 hours.
Yes, she is currently accruing time at 280 hours.
So upon
Per year.
execution, you will credit her with an extra 120 hours. You'll credit it with 120 hours, but will continue to accrue at 280 hours per year.
So this is just giving her,
Additional vacation.
so this is just giving her 3 weeks
Correct.
now, but at the end of her term, if she didn't take any vacation time, at the end of her term, the 1-year term, rather, she would have 10 weeks because she's already.
Yeah,
accrued.
10 weeks, 10 weeks.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. No,
Yeah, this reads like we're giving her 3 weeks of.
right.
No, it's, yeah,
So
so it looked like it's really an addition to.
In addition to.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay, any more discussion on that one? Okay, then, so base salary. I'll just throw out some thoughts. I mean, obviously vastly underpaying compared to the percentile thing, and this 80% quartile that JEA is in. Yet, right now, we're currently paying Vicky at a 40% quartile.
That's correct.
I'm not sure we're doing anybody any favors by that. I mean, money's money. I've got it in a current salary of 560. You know, that's not chump change. I'm not saying that at all. But I think this is like a legacy mindset or something where we need to change it because we've got a big organization here that's performing well, top 80%. Yet, I don't know what message we're sending when we're picking our CEO for quartile. It just doesn't make sense to me. The amount of blood, sweat, and tears that go into this job, it seems to me, I have no issue at all with 50% equivalent payment. And 807, if that's what it is, right, the 50%, I know that's a lot of money. It's a huge increase from what he's currently getting, but again, I sort of see it as fixing something from a vast underpayment for all the work that goes into this and responsibility. You all know 24/7 job, and especially it really ramps up during hurricane season. And performance to date, I'm okay with that. But just what are your thoughts?
When I started to look at this, I was looking more at where Jay would hit 710. I mean, yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking when we started to look at these numbers. So if I say anything in there, I think I'm where I felt comfortable.
And I certainly would have concern about her being the lowest paid, just the optics around that. However, haven't seen a full year's cycle of performance. So going directly to the 50th percentile without having a full cycle of data gives me a little bit of heartburn. And even just looking at where Jay would have started, and then the performance increase that he would have seen after an annual cycle, it looks like that was 18% increase. Okay.
That sounds about right.
And I'm just not certain how the public would look upon a salary of 800,000. What is that? $100,000 increase.
I think it's important to recognize that Jacksonville's cost of living would be in the very low end of these other nations.
And I hear what you're saying, John, but I'm not, I hear you, but I'm not sure I understand.
Well, anytime you set pay to somebody and you compare them to somebody that lived in New York City, they would expect to get less here because the cost of living is lower. And it's not a national job. It's very local. And I think that's why, for example, Jay's gonna be 700, something like that. I think that's awfully easy to explain. When you start getting north of that, it gets more difficult.
But I think we also have to just take into account that it looks like Jay had 1, 2, 3, 4 performance cycles that he went through as well, where the recommendation jumps us to the 50% without even having gone through a full year. I'll just throw out if the 18% at the first cycle, and I'm assuming that at that time the board was satisfied with performance that would have been based upon a pretty, I don't know what the performance rating, that's not listed here. if we did an 18% increase, that would be $100,000 and would take her to 660. And I just can't, not doing the math in my head, but where that would place her from a percentile.
Question. Obviously, compensation committee is going to send this to the board. I'm not, I'm not sure, looking at the percentage that she came in as an income. Negative board overcome. I don't think you would even consider paying her. I would think less than what they or would have been. I think that would be a baseline for her compensation based on her credentials and what she's performed. Yes, I know she hasn't done 12 months. I would not as a board member be, I don't think I could vote for something less with it.
Basically where I'm, that's basically where I would.
Okay, one more comment, just what I'm thinking for what it's worth. Regardless of what's decided and eventually passed by the board, there's going to be a lot of, I don't know, to some extent, the media, the public, whatever, say, wow, what's going on? Because again, this, and the money's big and all that kind of stuff. So obviously we're sensitive to that. But from my perspective, you know, that just goes with the territory. That doesn't, that's not going to be a key factor from where I'm going with this. I do need to think, I do need to say though, I think we need to just keep in the back of our mind this quartile thing, not to get hung up. But again, if we're in an 80% quartile, yet the CEO compensation is something lower than that. Okay, maybe during this initial contract, got it, we walk it up, but we got to keep that in mind. So I'm sort of thinking the signal we send is we have a big organization here with a huge job, yet we're sort of stuck in a mindset of under. I don't think we should lose sight of that. Maybe now as we walk it up, I got it, but eventually I think we need to come to grips with it. Just throw that out. Okay, so that said, I think what we're saying is, before I ask for a motion, a 3-year contract with 2 mutually agreed 1-year terms or 1-year renewals as an option. The 3% increase in base salary per annum. Okay, no change in current business and vehicle allowance. The annual leave, 120 hours credited. Right. And then for a base salary, sounds to me what I'm hearing is 710, which is what Jay would be.
I had asked for this information, and the information that I was sent was that as of 11/30/2024, Jay would have been making, I'm going to round the number, 690,000. And in November of 2025, he would have been up to 710.
Correct.
So the current salary, if Jay was still here today, his salary would be 690,000. Date 11/30. Am I correct?
Yes. I'm ready for it.
$690 effective November of 24.
All right, so if Jay was still here, his current salary would be 690. That's my
Correct.
question. Okay, not 710. It wouldn't be 710 until his contract renewal, which would have been November of 2025.
Yeah, I think part of it was he got a performance increase in January of 23, and I think that might have been added to the confusion. Yes. So 690.
I mean, I would just round it and I'd make a motion to set the salary at $700,000. Be halfway between the, this halfway between November and since it starts in May, that would basically bring it to the correct amount.
Okay, so what I'll do is ask for a motion for a 3-year contract term with 2 mutually agreed upon 1-year terms, a base salary of $700K with a 3% increase in base salary per annum and an annual leave credit of 120 hours. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Well done.
So what we'll do is then, now that the committee's action this, then I plan on taking this to the board for next week's meeting unless for some reason y'all think we should wait until the March. But any issues, I don't see this. Why not? Okay. Okay, Diane, thank you very much. Thank you. Now, Regina will go ahead and, I think you signed your read-ahead packet. We'll go ahead and update the draft contract. She'll get it out to us as well as the other board members. And then that's what we'll be referencing for next week's board.
Correct. The only thing that will be outstanding is the effective date, which following the board's meeting will let me know the effective date, and we'll work with HR to coincide with the big period.
Unless there's any issues, the effective date should be the 25th. And by the way, just I'll explain this at the board meeting. Once that's done, then we'll be doing the annual evaluation for the CEO, which should be and do that, I think, in April. That's her 1-year mark. Right, right. Okay, any other business at all? Okay.
Question,
Yeah, John.
Mr. Chairman. I know the annual evaluation would be in April, but wouldn't it be appropriate to evaluate her since we're setting a 3-year contract as of today?
Or is it when how's that work? 'Cause I know it's supposed to be 12 months, but then there was confusion, or not confusion, it was interim, which the months didn't count while she was interim. So how does that work? No.
So if board chose to do the evaluation, you could notify her, set up a timeline. If you plan to do it at your next meeting as part of this, you can work with her and set that up. The evaluation criteria has already been established, if I'm not mistaken. Diane?
Yeah, it's in our BPM.
So at your discretion, you could go ahead and set up the evaluation, do that as well as part of making the recommendation at the board meeting. And set that time at that point, the date will be coming up on close to a year. Under the contract, it's 60 days at the end of the year before you renew the contract, is the evaluation is due, and you're required to do it once. Nothing precludes you from doing it more than once.
Okay. So John, are you saying, go ahead. So, okay, now that we have that flexibility, you said we should be doing it for her CEO evaluation like now?
Well, we could send out an evaluation today
Yeah.
and have people fill it out, by Friday or something, and put it together and be ready for the board meeting.
Typically, the chair would take the evaluation, meet with the CEO.
Right. Yeah,
It's not a
the
public.
past practices I've been where
You're right.
right? I think when you were chairman, I think, right? Then, I think we were not involved in the back brief to the CEO of that evaluation. I think we did see the results, cumulative stuff.
Yes, the chair gathers the information, has a conversation with the CEO, and then the information is made public as part of, it was made part of the package. So the evaluations were made public as well, they're public record. And conducting the evaluations is not an issue because it serves as the impetus for amending the contract.
Yeah, well, I think we can do that. We can get the, this appendix 2, if I remember, I get that out. And if have a quick term we can get on it, we just go on with the, and her, the post-survey council, and then feedback to the other. Okay, anything else? Good point, thanks, Tom. Okay, that's it. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
So there's a-